Got to get it, Papa. Here we are. We're at the Veteran Heritage Festival. It's at the airport in Abbeville, Louisiana. And we're going to take a little look around, see what's what. Yeah, this is taking place at the Louisiana Military Hall of Fame and Museum, which is actually at the airport here. As you can tell by right next door, there's some helicopters and stuff and hangars back here. But I'm gonna wander around. There's some reenactors. And what they've actually done is they reenact different eras, going all the way back to the French and Indian War to modern times. So some of the people are gone right now. I'm gonna wander around and try to get things and maybe even keep it in some kind of logical order. So that'll be an accomplishment by itself for me. So hang on.
Over here. Oh, everything. So you guys gonna put me to work this afternoon, huh? Y'all think I came here to work this afternoon in this beautiful weather that we have out here?
Yeah, this is some of the World War II era equipment and some memorabilia, uniforms. Got all your good gear, gas mask. A few handy manuals and stuff. Yeah, we got a bivouac going on. And we get up to Korea. Hey, how are you doing?
Oh, we're doing great. Thank you.
The weather couldn't be better for this.
Pretty nice. Very, very nice. Yes, sir.
This here is the Vietnam section, that era. And you can see, got a lot of aircraft related things, including these panels, the different insignia on it. These. And this is toward the end of the exhibit. The Gulf War era. They got some big equipment parked out here. They got a tank. I hope they don't shoot the building because it's right over there. He's aiming kind of high though. I think he'd go over the roof. See if anybody's home. Hey, partner. Y'all in there? Nobody's answering. And that's the big door you can pop out of and surprise your friends. A lot of these have big doors on the back so you can pop out. See? Now I'm not a equipment expert, so I couldn't tell you exactly what model, what version of these vehicles these are, but other than that, they're big and heavy. But it's pretty cool. Yeah, this is inside the museum, And there's this big giant cannon right here, which they found in the Mississippi River, and it was actually a U.S. made cannon. Hey, look that, and pause that so you can read that. But let's see, looking around the room, there's a helicopter up there with some guys in it flying around. Well, that's, you might recognize that because it's similar to the ones they used on the TV show MASH in the Korean War in the 1950s. And there's a tent and a Jeep. We're gonna go see those a little closer. But look at that, landing craft. And look this. That I would assume is a World War I era ammunition. Hauling ammunition in there. In those boxes. Let's see, U.S. Army? Oh, it just says U.S. Army. It doesn't say what kind of ammunition is in there, but something. But they have information and artifacts from going back to the Civil War, War of 1812. There's been a lot of these wars, too many. And what they can, if there's things related to, you know, local families, some of the artifacts are actually from the local families, which is pretty cool, because these were just regular people. All these soldiers, the sailors, Marines, and eventually Air Force. They come from all over, all around us. Ever seen underneath a Bell helicopter? Look at that. All these parts are showing. But see, it even has the stretchers on it. See, there's one. And there's one. It's like on that MASH show. There's another Jeep like the one outside, but that's the old one. And there's another one back here. But look at that. That's inside the landing craft. You can actually walk on it. So I'm going backwards, I'm going in. And that's one in the water. And you come back here and look at that. That's where they drive it. They drive that. And here's how they run that with that motor. This is the back of the boat, by the way. There's a little winch over there. So you can pull that. You crank that and pull that. And here's what it looks like when you're leaving. Now we gotta go into the helicopter. You gotta move a lot faster than I'm moving right now, though. Oh, it looks some bombs and some bullets. Okay, look that and pause that. Well, that's the information. This is what it looked like when you got it set up to use. That's a pretty big one. You think of a mortar as being smaller. That's a pretty good size when you don't carry that by yourself. And there's some crates. the ammunition in it. And the radio so they can tell you that, where to shoot that. A few articles, historic artifacts from World War II. This is a bad guy helmet. But this is something a lot of people might not know about. This pennant right here, behind the giant finger that gets in the way all the time. It commemorates the Army maneuvers in 1941, and it was a huge deal. It took over the whole central part of Louisiana for these maneuvers, and that's a huge story just by itself. Amazing. Remember I said where I am right now? I'm in Abbeville. Somebody's jacket. And this is an interesting thing here. The Cajuns speak French. And they realized in World War II that the type of French, the accent, everything that the Cajuns spoke was very, very similar to what the country people in France spoke. And so a lot of crazy Cajuns worked behind the lines during World War II as interpreters and as spies helping the French resistance and all. And there's been a couple of documentaries, and there's information out there about that. And this guy certainly doesn't look too happy because they got beat, and it was a good thing. But there's a few articles here, artifacts here. I keep calling them articles. Articles in a magazine. These are artifacts. Different insignia. You look like that other guy. Y'all must be related. Let's see. Yeah, I think they're related. Neither one looks too happy. It's a fancy hat, and it's kind of like it's German, so I'm gonna make fun of them. But it's like a little burner off a little stove, so you can put your coffee pot on there. Yeah, if you can't make fun of your enemies, you can't make fun of anybody. Some people don't understand that. When somebody is your enemy, it's okay to make fun of them. It's okay. Cool, look at that. That's 4 barrels of trouble there. Boy, they got plenty of handles and wheels and stuff to yank on that and pull that and turn that and adjust that and shoot that. Cool. You put some holes in something with that. And this is a replica of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers in Washington, or actually in Arlington, Virginia, right across the river from Washington. Well, that was pretty cool. There was a lot of information and very knowledgeable people that were doing the presentations and everything, the reenactors. I could do like 3 hours on each era. There was that much information, but very, very well done. And if I remember right, that was the first time they ever did that at that museum. And they started Wednesday, I think. They started setting up. They were there for Thursday, which was Veterans Day, and it tied in with that. And they were there yesterday, Friday, and today's Saturday, and they're finishing things up. But they even had different area schools come visit with different classes, and they said the kids, high school age, different ages, really enjoyed the presentations and the interesting stories and the background of all these things, all the different eras and what was going on. So that was very cool, and they'll have to look forward again next year, right around Veterans Day. I'm assuming they'll probably try to do it again. And in the meantime, I'm going to see if something else is open, and we're going to see what happens up ahead, this long road. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, the big hill. Hang on, a big giant hill in Louisiana. Oh my goodness, somebody's coming at me. Look out, everybody. Well, there's some big silver tings they've put on the ground right there. Look at that. Here I am. Almost there. Almost there. Stay on target. Look at that. Look at that place. All right. And looking at these, I think you can figure out where I am. Holy smokers. But I'm at the Tabasco place in Avery Island, Louisiana. And we're fixing to do a little tour and stuff like that. And when I got my ticket, they gave me these. Right behind the giant fingers. See? Works every time. Here's a lot of stuff, the tools of the trade, as far as the barrels go, and putting the metal bands on the barrels and stuff. And they have all the hammers and special hammers they use. Mixing the ingredients, sealing the barrels with salt. Very old methods that traditionally do the best job. And these are stickers, in case you were wondering. And in keeping with the Veterans Day theme, Tabasco in the military, they have supplied Tabasco in different forms, one way or another, for a long time. I like that.
Here's a video pro tip. Whenever you're going out to shoot a lot of video in one day, make sure all your equipment is up to par and all set, including your batteries. Make sure your batteries are charged and ready to go, and you won't have any problems.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for that pro tip. I'll have to remember that. Anyway, let's get on with the video to continue with the Tabasco plant and a little bit of history about it. The family behind the Tabasco brand was the Mcelhenny family. And this all got started way back in the 1800s and started out small like most things and then grew. Different members of the family went on to do other things. One in particular that was interesting, since this is related to Veterans Day, was John Mcelhenny. He ended up joining up with President Theodore Roosevelt's Rough Riders, which was a voluntary cavalry regiment, and they saw action in the Spanish-American War over in Cuba. So they have his hat, they have his uniform from that time, and a few other artifacts. Oh, and look that there is a bass guitar, and it's shaped like a Tabasco bottle. And you never guess who that belonged to. That belonged to Mcelhenny. Well, who's that? You may be asking. Well, let me tell you. He was the bass player for Van Halen. And apparently he really liked Tabasco. And he thought it was hot. So he had a guitar made that looked like it. And it actually, it was on display in a restaurant in New Orleans. And lo and behold, somebody stole it. Some kind of way, it showed up again 11 years later. And here it is. So don't leave your Tabasco bottle-shaped bass guitars laying around in a restaurant in New Orleans, or somebody might take it. Ooh, and look that. See that big old white chunky thing on the side there? That's a great big old piece of rock salt that came out of the mine that's down underneath all this Avery Island area. That's what it comes out like. They bust a big piece like that, and then they grind that and make some salt that you can put on that. Make your food all tasty. But look at that. You know what that is? You're never going to guess. But if you read the little card, maybe you will. That's a mastodon tooth that they found down there too. And so just, think about that a little bit. Sometimes you sprinkle in some salt on your food, and you might have a little mastodon tooth in there too. That's some good tooth. And yeah, Avery Island also has a salt mine underground in Louisiana below sea level, where they mine salt. Ooh, they're blowing up some salt. Look at the dynamite back there. Cool, look at that. Oh, they blew it up. And that's some big chunks of salt. It's like if you had to put that in your food like that. Oh man, and if you hadn't had enough salt, look that. That's a big old chunk of salt, and somebody left it on the floor there in the hallway. And when you go through the little tour, you can look at that and touch that if you want to. Oh yeah, look at this. This is on the tour. It's one of the places you see the process of how they make that Tabasco sauce. This is the blending room. And these are big old gigantic barrel things, and they got some, you see them little things sticking out the top? They got some little stirring things and all, and they blend all the ingredients in, especially the peppers that make the Tabasco sauce. And look that. It's a little secret kinda, except it's right in the doorway when you walk in. But that's one of the old safes they used to have here. And you could tell it because it's got the name on it. And but they might have kept some secret formulas in there or something way back. I didn't see a note about it, so I'm not sure. Ooh man, and I'm getting hungry now because look that. They got some Japanese Tabasco stuff going on in there. I like the one with the big sumo guy dancing around with a big jug of Tabasco sauce on that bag. Let's see, what's he saying on there? He's saying hot, hot, hot. Plus Japanese pizza toast sauce. Try to say that 5 times. Tabasco pizza toast sauce. I have no idea what that is. But yeah, and they got the little recipes with the little Kit Kats waving at you with holding the Tabasco bottles. They have a lot of international products on display that you can see and wonder about what that tastes like. Yeah, and look at that. Yeah, guess who else was involved in this kind of stuff? The Colonel Sanders. Look, Colonel Sanders standing over there with a little bucket of chicken, and he's got his Tabasco bottle stuffed under his arm there, and he's all happy. He's bobbling his head around. Well, he's not in this video, but his head would bobble if I give him a shake. But that wasn't even in the United States. That was in Australia. And look, some of these things are a little hard to see because of the reflections all over the place. But Tabasco's in all kind of stuff. Now, this is United States stuff here. They got it in the chili, and they got it in Spam. Ho ho ho! Some Tabasco Spam. Po! You be doing good with that. You can put that on a barbecue pit and make you something good. And look, you can follow it up with some delicious jelly beans that taste like Tabasco. You can tell what that yellow thing is way over on the left over there. Cool. Well, of course, it's a Slim Jim, a Tabasco flavored Slim Jim. Cool. That's some big bottles, yeah. Look at all that. That's some hot stuff. Yeah, on the tour of the plant, I was a little bit sad because part of it was closed temporarily, and that's they have a long walkway you can go through, and you can watch the bottling process where they shoot that Tabasco into them little bottles, and it goes down a big long line. If you ever seen the show Laverne and Shirley, yeah, Laverne and Shirley, they worked in the beer brewing plant. At the beginning of the show, they would show all those bottles going by on the line, and one of them would stick their glove on it, and it would go waving by when it went by. The Tabasco plant's kind of like that, except it's got littler bottles, so your glove probably wouldn't stay on there too good. But yeah, look up Laverne and Shirley, see if you can watch the beginning part. Barrels and barrels of Tabasco sauce. And the Ark of the Covenant may be in there too. I hadn't spotted the box yet. And these are some actual pepper plants that are growing in the company greenhouse, which you can go visit as part of the tour too. And there's different varieties. When you go through, you can tell, you know, the shape of them and the color and everything. It's pretty cool to see. And it's like, that's some of the peppers that they use to blend and make the pepper sauce, the Tabasco pepper sauce. This is kind of where you start everything. Over on the left there, that's the general store, and that's where you get your ticket and everything to go on the tour. And there's the museum part that we saw. They had the Rough Rider uniform in there and that kind of stuff. When the camera went, you know, everything went kind of crazy. And a Tabasco bass guitar. Then there's the company store. I got them mixed up. Then there's a company store, and that's a company store. You can go in there and get all kind of things Tabasco. You can buy clothes and Tabasco sauce, and there's taste testing in the back. You can taste the different flavors of Tabasco. They have like little crackers and stuff. They let you do that. There's all kind of good stuff. And then further over on the right, you can see there's even a restaurant, a full service restaurant on the property there, which you can go to and have some good stuff in there. But anyway, that'll wrap it up for our Veterans Day Tabasco expedition. And it was fun. I hope the technical difficulties weren't too much of a distraction. It's kind of frustrating when you get someplace, you get halfway through, and it's time to change the battery. Wait, where's the battery? Oh, it's plugged in charging at home. Perfect. Yay. So anyway, thank you for watching this. Don't forget, you can punch that button, Paya, and subscribe. And I guess we'll see you next time on the next Look Dad.